We need to get like a pot of coffee for Sunday morning. Is what we need to do.
We should.
It's what it's turned into.
Hello, everybody. Come on in. Well, I'm. If I get some time, I'll change that. So it's just a yeah.
Maybe we'll talk about comics today. Maybe we won't.
Maybe. Oh, let's try to talk about funny books.
Yeah.
Maybe.
I fell down the black hole of comics last night, so I'm full of useless information.
Right.
Most of it lies.
Wow.
Lies and half truth. It depends on who's telling the story.
Wow.
Oh, it's
Good morning.
Good morning, everyone.
Mr. Lee.
Good morning.
Oh, I forgot my hat. We need to do an all hat show.
It's got to be a hat thing.
Glenn needs a hat too. So.
Yeah.
He's got Russ is clean shaven.
Well, he has to tidy himself up once in a while. He has to get away from the table once in a while.
I dug myself out of the dungeon and thought I'd shave. Yeah.
One good look in the bathroom mirror, and you go, "Damn, shave."
Yeah, just damn. This is don't worry. Just so
we never have to worry about Glenn. He's always a professional.
I look up to Glenn.
Yeah. The rest of us, we have to scrape ourselves out off the floor sometimes.
Pretty much. Good morning, everyone. I want to welcome you to another edition of the Sunday Funnies. We have absolutely no direction this morning.
That's a change.
I threw out, that's a change. Thanks,
like cheerleaders and exploding Zambonis. We have no idea.
You've been watching too much. They just had an exploding Zamboni on. It wasn't 911. It was the House 19 or whatever the show that's on around Grey's Anatomy. They had a burning Zamboni on the loose in the ice rink. They had
there you go.
Sorry, that must be an American thing. What the hell is a Zamboni?
Well, Canadian.
It's Canadian too. It's a machine that smooths out the ice for hockey rinks.
Yeah. Oh, all right. Yeah. Oh, well, I've learned something today. That's good.
Yeah, I believe in the UK they call it the jiggly.
As opposed to a pierogi or
pierogies are delicious.
Pierogies completely different.
There's probably some really cool name for it in the UK that we don't know.
Ice flatter.
Yeah, the ice.
Something
flatter.
A little bit more specific. Yeah, probably.
Do you have hockey over in Britain?
Yeah, but I don't think it's uber popular.
No.
Curling though.
Curling isn't particularly popular either. No.
Oh, well, that's all Canadian.
Yeah.
Curling and hockey and we're here in the north part of the United States, so hockey's pretty big over here. Our Red Wings are quite a championship team.
I used to watch a bit of ice hockey on Eurosport. They used to show quite a bit of it, and it wasn't edited. You used to get the fights as well.
Oh, okay.
No.
That's the reason why that's the reason you watch it.
Many years ago, I watched a great match between the then Soviet Union and the United States. That ended up in a brawl. Right. And I thought it couldn't get any worse. And then the next week, it was Poland against the Soviet Union.
Yeah.
That was a good one. That was real. That was real.
It's like NASCAR. It's like NASCAR. Nobody here goes to a NASCAR race to see somebody execute a proper left turn.
Right.
That's not why they go. That's not why they go.
Yeah. I learned that when I finally went to one of those monster truck things, and I'm like, this is gonna be. I mean, the stunts are cool, but then all the cars start breaking and flipping and tires start popping out, taking out audience members. And I'm like, oh, this is great.
That's why we're here.
Duck. It's so awesome, Duck. Come on in, everybody. This is the Sunday Funnies. We're actually going to talk.
Like I said, we might talk about comics. We'll fit it in between, hockey fights and football hooliganism and all that stuff.
April 18th, 2021. An important day in comic book history.
Anybody? Damn it. You didn't tell me the SAT was today.
Bueller. Anybody? Okay. We're going to run the opening, and then we'll talk about it. As soon as I find the opening. We won't talk about the opening. We're just going to run it.
Daphne, do we have something we want to add to this?
Yeah.
Hello, everybody. Thanks for joining in. Thanks for listening. Oh, there you go, Glenn. Awesome. Thanks for listening to another episode of Sunday Funnies. We are practicing chaos this morning and hats, so it's all good.
Atlas.
I'm your host, Randy Zimmerman. I have been doing alternative and independent comics for many, many decades. Arrow Comics, Caliber Comics, our Antarctic Press, a lot of other comic companies I've done work for over the years. I've run a number of companies straight into the ground. And I'm currently working on resurrecting Arrow Comics with a fourth return of Arrow Comics back to regular direct market distribution again, thanks to Liberty Entertainment. And we just can't stop growing, it seems. I've got a lot of stuff planned starting in August and September. It's going to get crazy, absolutely crazy, and a lot of fun. So also with me today, co-hosting is Daphne Lage. Daphne, introduce yourself.
Good morning. And without my hat, I'm which one? We're like the Sesame Street thing. Which one is not like the others, right? So hello, everyone. My name is Daphne Lage. And
you could do that without a hat.
Yeah, I know, right? And I'm a cartoonist, illustrator, and a comic book artist from New York. Although Glenn is representing better than I am right now. Yeah. So I have been self-publishing comics since 1992, and I am known for the funny animal fantasy Tall Tales, which is currently on Kickstarter and this much away from making goals. So check it out. Yeah, and I'm also known for my medieval drama, Eagle Raven, Heir of the First Unicorn, also premiering, second issue comes out on Kickstarter in May. And you can read both my books at Tall Tales Online, TAILS, and eagleworks.com, EGOWORKS. And you can watch my videos on how I make these comics on YouTube at Daphne Lage, LAGE Art.
Sweet. Also co-hosting this morning is Varian Grant. Varian, how are you?
I'm doing pretty good this morning, considering.
Your camera's off. Do you have your hat on?
Not yet. I'm working on it. I'm still working on waking up. Pulling all this together,
Understood.
Yeah, I don't have my bra on or anything. So, yeah.
Neither do I. What?
You're especially undressed.
Yeah. Hello, everybody. My name is Varian Grant. I'm the founder of Indie Vault Media LLC. Started making comics, started destroying them, depending on who you ask, in 2008. And I'm. It's Sunday morning. I'm here. Let's get over it.
Just thought I'd throw that TVMA DLSV up
just in case. Yeah.
Yep. Also joining us this morning is Glenn Fleming. Glenn, introduce yourself.
Yeah. Hi, everybody. My name's Glenn Fleming. I'm an English writer, artist, and graphic designer and publisher. I've published 10 books now. I've written about 500. I've published 10 about the JFK assassination, science fiction books, children's books, World Cup football books, lots of books. They're all on Amazon. You can get them there. But I currently publish Comics Unlimited magazine, which is about comics. And I'm just about finishing off the final cut of my Jack Kirby DVD of my visits to him. And that'll be an announcement about that shortly.
Sweet.
Also joining us this morning is Mr. Russ Leach. Russ, introduce yourself. Russ.
Hi. My name's Russ Leach.
Russ Leach.
My name's Russ Leach.
It's not early in the morning.
Yeah,
except for him, but
it's not early here. But I'm still drinking orange
afternoon, perhaps.
There's some vodka in it. My name's Russ Leach. I am a comic book artist and multiple other things, but I'm a comic book artist at the moment. I've been involved with things like Marvel and Warner Brothers and
we're sorry.
Cartoon Network. And I've done some work. And I've done some work on Doctor Who.
Condolences.
Out a bit. Done some work for storyboarding, design for games, all kinds of bits and pieces. But at the moment, my focus is back to my one true love of comics. So I'm producing a comic called Only Death Can Save Us, the reprints of which will be going to Arrow exclusively. Very, very proud of that. But you can still pick up an original copy of the Only first book, which will not be reprinted, over at Indiegogo currently. And the second book is currently in production. I just got back the plot this morning. I'm really pumped for it. But at the moment, I'm also working on something called The Outliers. You can see me with Joe Fulton on a Thursday on Fultonland, where we talk about The Outliers and also other comics that we love and speak to other people in the industry. So that's me. You can find me over on Comic Book Black Belt, russleach.com or comicbookblackbelt.com, and you can find out more about the book at onlydeathcansavus.com.
And what is The Outliers about? Not just 32 pages at a time. What is that? What would you say Outliers was about?
Sorry, I missed a bit of that because I did a boomer thing and shut my mic off. But there you go.
There you go.
Say that again.
What is Outliers about?
Outliers is effectively Joe's version of Bronze Age, Marvel and DC connected universes, but in a modern world.
Okay.
So it's very much an all ages design thing, and that's why he came to me for the artwork, because he liked what I'd done on Only Death Can Save Us and the other artwork I'd done. So I've kind of I've got a foot in that camp because I very much enjoy the story. Joe's great at what he does. He does a lot of editing and stuff like that.
Mm-hmm.
So those are my focuses now. I can't really. I got another gig the other day that I'm kind of squeezing in, but you know what that's like, Randy, getting other gigs. I'm kind of squeezing that in July, and it does actually mean that I'm spreading the love, because I'm going to have to get myself a flatter full time. And I'm also going to have to get myself a letterer for the next book. So it's great. It's, everything that's going on is brilliant. We're seeing the indie world flourish at the moment, and I'm riding the wave and thoroughly enjoying it. So
yes, well, you should. We call those happy problems.
Happy,
exactly,
they are. Rather have too much work and worry about how I'm going to organize it for other people to help.
It's like,
me.
oh no, you might have like too many books to involved in to promote.
I'm busier than I can handle. I'm going to have to hire somebody to help me.
Nobody ever goes, no, I'm just going to give up. Forget it.
Right.
It's too much work.
It's so much better than is the ramen. Is there any ramen left in the cupboard?
Yeah.
So very different than that. Should be very happy that in this business, especially, it seems it's feast or famine. You're either starving or you're booming, and now it's time for alternative and independent comics to
exactly, and also making it happen for yourself.
The
theme that I've seen, even when there's been times where the comic industry has in the past has had terrible times, creators that are determined to create. Continue to create, continue to make a living at it. Hard though it may be, they continue to find a way through, and it's those people that stick. And it's also usually those people that find the best stories as well, because they're so committed to getting those stories out.
Either that or they go completely. Either that or they go completely insane.
Probably both.
Well, it's like, why not both?
It really is a little of both. Yeah. Crazy.
We know.
We've all been there at least one time or another.
It's getting out the problem, isn't it?
Varian has his camera off. He doesn't want to see, doesn't want people to know he's actually wearing his straitjacket this morning.
It's Sunday, so that has to happen.
Have you got your bra on yet?
I'm putting. It's a big bra. At this point, me and Lola can share them. It's
oh boy.
That's where the hand-me-downs go.
Yeah.
Now we know.
I don't like this lacy number. It's a little too much.
A little scratchy.
Yeah.
It's the sharing of the shoes that it gets weird.
I can't see that happening. Varian's got weak ankles.
Yeah. Don't want to hurt.
But he does change his height every once in a while, though, so that would explain it.
Yeah.
A long time ago, I went out with a girl who was she was about 5'11", I think. I'm 6'1", and she was 5'11", and we went out and she had these high heels on, and she was taller than I was. She's quite amazing, because I've always been like the tallest in the class at school, so I've never really had to look up to anybody in that way, in a physical way. But I was sort of talking to her like, don't wear them again.
She'll wear heels when you go out, so
yeah,
you'll be I'm used to it now. I'm used to just.
You're used to wearing heels?
I'm used to looking up to my wife. Yeah. Hey, it's to the point where now, especially since my illness, I can't lift my arms all the way up above my head. So she has to get stuff if it's on the shelf. It's taller than me, and at 5'2", 5'3", shelves are usually taller than me. So I'm like, could you get that? It's a humbling experience, and
well,
I don't like
look, if it makes you feel any better, I'm shorter than you. I'm 5'1". So,
yeah,
so there you go.
Yeah.
So you're taller than me. So
And I have to get Krista a pair of elevator shoes so that when she has to go up to the next floor, she can just hit a button and.
I like telling my son likes the fact that he's tall. He's like, I'm getting tall, Dad. He's not taller than me yet, but he's like, I'm getting tall. And I told him, I said, listen, don't. People on my side of the family run a little short, and your grandmother, your great grandmother, your mom's grandma, is only like 4'9", buddy. This could be it.
You need to go into space for a while, because those astronauts that were on Skylab many moons ago, when they're on for about 2 or 3 months at a time, they all grew half an inch.
Oh wow, okay, yeah. That's right. The
because the
weird gravity.
Yeah,
the back, just what's it called? Your vertebra separates, and
no gravity to wear them down.
That's right. Yeah.
I might need to go up there. Maybe Elon Musk can help me out.
Yeah.
I mean, if he can get a ship up there, I'll go
on that.
I don't think the problem is getting it up there right now. The problem is getting it back down safely.
Yeah. Well, details.
That's
what the Russians did, wasn't it? They weren't bothered about coming back, were they?
Yeah.
Mm-mm.
The astronauts were, but they
just drop them in a wheat field. That'll work.
Yeah.
We swear this is related to comics somehow, people.
I was swinging this back to April 18th. Why is that an important?
Oh yeah,
day
the
comics.
SAT
Anybody know?
test that I did not study for.
SAT
I'm sorry.
No, April 18th. No,
April 18th. What year?
Oh, that would give it away.
Oh
no, it's way too. Is it Superman?
Superman.
You just looked it up.
No, I haven't touched it. But
we know Glenn didn't look it up.
I didn't look it up. Superman.
That's the street date for the first issue of Action Comics.
Wow.
Was that 1938?
36, 38, somewhere in there.
Wow.
That's why I didn't want to give a year. I didn't know what it was. It was either 36 or 38.
Not because he was being cheeky.
No. Yes.
And then you read about that first issue of Action Comics, and they used to send artwork out to people who wrote a letter in.
Wow.
So some kid probably got the splash page of Action Comics, with Superman in it, and probably his mother probably threw it away the next week.
Probably, yeah.
It's only worth about $9 million, But
yeah, exactly. Well, who knew?
Who knew? Yeah.
Yeah,
That's why I never throw anything away.
38.
Dave says he can thank the pandemic for its introducing me to indie comics and crowdfunding. But a lot of good people do it.
Yeah, I can do that too. Yeah, it's like I think that as weird as the pandemic was, I mean, not belittling, what happened, but if it wasn't for the pandemic, it's like I don't think I would be here with you guys.
Right.
So, it's like
I know for a fact I wouldn't be. I think as respectful as you have to be to the people that have suffered during such a terrible thing and through the absolute incompetence of our great leaders. Apart from that, you just have to say that anybody who makes anything of their lives needs to grab an opportunity when they see it.
Yeah.
And I have been given an opportunity this past year because of the way my work is, because of the fact that I'm self-employed, because of the way that it all worked to get my book off the ground. And I don't, as far as that being in some way with the Western world has had some help from our governments to keep going, to keep the economy going. I've seen that as an opportunity to continue a revenue stream for myself, where I once again am no burden on the state. That I can keep myself going, and I can actually give back. I can in some way help the economy by being part of it.
Yeah.
And I've had a great opportunity from all this. I definitely would not be here right now talking to you guys if it hadn't been for what's happened over the last year. So you do have to take what you can when you can and make the best of it, and that's the way you better yourself. I think.
That's right. I've never been so busy in my life.
For real.
And certainly not produced as much as I've done these past year or so.
I have never been obsessed with work the way I have this past year or so. I mean, never like this.
Yeah.
And a lot of that has to do with the condition or the state that alternative and independent comics have gotten into, because the mainstream guys are faltering and stumbling over their own feet, and their numbers are dropping, where crowdfunding is picking up and gathering a larger audience every day, despite what some people.
Well, again, if you look at what's happened over the last year, that's just the final nail in the coffin. That this has been slowly building ahead of steam over a long period of time with direct market, and then with in the last few years, the way that so many creators and people have been treating fans and the way they've been conversing publicly, and it's just not been very helpful at all. And then on top of that, you get something like what's happened over the last year, nailing the direct market in the way that it has, and giving and effectively opening up the market that was already starting to open. Like
I've not been excited as this since I think I discovered Marvel comics in the 60s. Jack Kirby and all that. Because this indie revolution is absolutely brilliant. There's some great stuff out there.
Yeah, there is.
Russ said, I appreciate what Russ said. He said, he didn't want to be a burden on the state. Well, I have settled into that role quite well.
Well, I don't mind being a burden to the state, because it's my effing money.
Yeah. I'm like,
I'm going to be a goddamn burden. I want.
I was just covering myself with the checks I received.
My thing is, I am your nephew. Yes, it's true. Hear me, Uncle Sam.
Yeah, exactly.
I'm his favorite nephew.
Yeah.
Mar Studio says 3 things. 1, subscribe. Please subscribe to Indie Volt over at YouTube. Please subscribe to. We've all got, I think, pretty close. Everybody has individual YouTube channels. There's a Indie Volt channel. There's a Arrow Comics channel. There's a Varian Grant channel. There's Comic Book Black Belt's got a channel, right?
Yeah.
I don't think Glenn has a YouTube channel, do you?
I've got some films up there. I'm not quite sure whether I've got a channel or not. I don't know how that works. So I don't know, but there are a few things up there,
Oh, if you posted it on YouTube under your name, you probably have a channel up there.
Yeah, you probably you have a Google account. You automatically.
Yes, I have a channel on YouTube. With several
Daphne
films
has a channel up there as well, where she does rants and instructional videos.
Well, instructional videos and the occasional rant.
I gotta tell Daphne something too.
Oh,
it's funny. She'll laugh about this.
I hope so.
Yeah. So
there's an evil laugh.
Well, no. You're like, she said, I see that you have. It's funny. I see that you have young people on your program drawing. He asked me. He said, a friend of mine that I hosted yesterday. Pictures Be Crazy. He said you should get her on to be on the show and pitch her book. And I'm like, he said the teenage girl. And I'm like, what teenage girl? Then I realized he's talking about you.
Oh my God.
What happened is,
oh my God. Thank you. I love you, whoever you are.
For our radio audience,
the guy that was talking was like 120 years old.
For our radio audience, Daphne just turned 3 shades of red. You go to your Pantone book and look. Flesh color, 2 red. She's right there. In the
right,
middle.
yeah. Because let's just say I haven't been teen for a while.
Well, because he looked through the tall tales and there's a picture of you and you're holding the book up.
Right.
And he says, she's like, he said she's like 17, 18, right? And I'm like,
well, bless your heart, sir. Bless your heart.
We call that, Russ, we call that a smooth talker, don't we?
Yeah, for real. Yeah. What do I always say? Flattery gets you everywhere.
Damn it, I never thought of that one. Like,
Avoid.
Marv also says, smash that like button. And 3, go to the Indie Volt Revolt campaign on Indiegogo and buy the book. Yes, please. We all have contributions into the Indie Volt Revolt book over on Indiegogo, except for Mr. Varian here, who's promised to add a story if we ever get to 150 backers. We are at 51 right now with, I think it's 27 days left in the campaign. So,
yeah, it's a...
Please get it to 150 so that we can use Varian as the excuse why the book is late. No, just kidding.
I have some prints of that cover that I said to you about, Randy. When you make it to 75, I will send you 25 signed prints.
Wow.
To randomly distribute between the 75 backers.
There you go.
Sweet. There you go, folks. Okay. 70 at the 75th backer.
75 backers.
75
there will
prints.
be 25 randomly delivered prints. And they'll be signed, and I'll number them as well.
Awesome.
There'll only be 25. There are more of the prints, but only 25 signed prints.
So 24 of you lucky backers will get one of those prints inside your inside that package. Just kidding. 25 of you lucky backers will get a print from Russ once we hit 75, and that's 24 left to go. Right,
the lucky backers. I keep wanting that. My mouth didn't want to say that. It's like lucky backer.
We're at 130 pages of comics and stories, self-contained stories in the book. Every type of black and white sequential art story that you can imagine is in there. Except, well, no, I can't say except for superheroes because Mark Darden has a Guano Guy story in there. So it's looking great. We're at 1945 right now at 51 backers, only 27 days left in the campaign. So
it's going to be great.
Get up there now and please get us past the at the 75 or 100 mark. We every 25 backers, I think it is, we add another 10 pages. So
wow.
we can turn this into a huge volume if you want to back it and get it up that high. So if not, then, we'll just, however many are there, and the majority of the work is already in a print file waiting to go. If we add more pages, we'll add more stories. And then as soon as those are done, it goes right to the printer and then right to you. So
are you sending overseas, Randy?
No, I'm having it printed locally at a print on demand guy that does incredibly good work.
In the UK, you have it printed Plymouth. Did you say? Sorry.
In Michigan, yeah.
Oh, right. Sorry. We have a Plymouth too.
Yeah, we have a PDF file available for anybody outside of the States for $10. That
we have the Plymouth.
Yeah, we do. Yeah, I didn't want to push that.
We have a Plymouth here in Michigan.
Yes. We have a Plymouth Hoe, don't we, Russ?
Yes.
Well, I'm sure they're here too, but
well,
but it doesn't mean that. It means something else.
It's that
we have
that
Plymouth
British to American translation.
We have Plymouth Rock. I mean,
Plymouth Rock,
which apparently landed on me, but yeah.
That was God paying you back for those pigs.
Yeah. I didn't even do it yet. It was like, wait, but my grandfather did that to those pigs.
Good morning, Marvy. I hope everyone's having a great day. It's just catch you later. It is currently lunchtime. Have a good lunch, Marvy. We wish you the best. Lacrosse is lacrosse watched in the UK. Watched in the UK.
No, but my brother played that when he was at grammar school.
Lots of rugby.
Yep.
Yeah. A bit of
mainly
lacrosse.
Football though. Football's the best.
All right, me Babbers. Bristolian Dave, thanks for listening.
Babbers.
Good morning, Indie Volters.
Good morning.
Good morning, Imperian. Hope you're doing well. This is one thing I can thank this pandemic for is introducing me to indie comics. Yeah, I think we already read that.
Mm-hmm.
And crowdfunding, it's really exploded. Met a lot of people. And it's just going to keep growing because more and more folks are figuring out that comics are really a viable form of entertainment that made for everybody if they find the right comics. There's plenty of great things, great stuff out there. Morning all. Happy problems are great problems to deal with.
Hey, Joe.
the desk, a small press publisher. There you
Yeah, that was definitely one thing that I also learned, that it's like the ability to just, with all the studios and everything shutting down, and people, Disneyland shutting down and everyone freaking out. It's like, oh my God, where am I going to get my entertainment? And I'm sitting there going, oh, I can do this myself. I can sit here and entertain myself. Thank you.
Randy, are you excited?
Huh?
Whatever you say.
Yeah. Well, I guess it depends on how much you're entertained by the JFK assassination.
Randy, are you excited for the? I want to ask you because I've been seeing news and I keep forgetting. Are you excited about the return of the Freak Brothers?
Yeah, I can't wait to see the cartoon.
Yeah,
they haven't found a home yet. They're working on episodes.
Yeah, what do we got? We got
but they had
Woody Harrelson and Pete Davidson. They got some,
yeah.
doing some voices there.
Yeah,
Kind of looks Family Guy-ish.
It's crazy.
Yeah, that's what it reminds me of.
Cast. Yeah. They even have the Colonel up there in the upper corner.
Yeah,
Kentucky Fried Colonel. Yeah.
Stephen Hawking.
Yeah, Stephen Hawking.
Oh, that's true. That's who that is.
Apparently, me in a leprechaun outfit. Or that's me back there with that baseball cap on.
Oh, you know who that is? That's Dinklage.
That looks like the guy from
Peter Dinklage.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Jimi Hendrix.
That looks exactly like him.
Richard Nixon.
Yeah, that's about that period that those were done.
I'm surprised. I'm surprised they're having. Are they having a problem finding a home, or
they haven't announced a home yet? They have announced that they are they're going forward with a season, or at least doing episodes of it. But over on YouTube, they had a great claymation test short over there for the longest time off of a Freak Brothers comic that
because
I was really hoping that was going to get made. That looked really, really hot. This doesn't look bad, don't get me wrong, but it looks like Family Guy. It does.
Right, but that's the thing. That's what I'm saying. It's like, after like decades of things like Family Guy and and American Dad and all that, it's like, really the Freak Brothers probably will look quaint in comparison.
Well, they are really a time capsule representative of another time, back when drugs were free flowing and
Didn't the guy did one of the voice guys on The Simpsons just apologize for betraying something?
Yeah, but that's his problem.
Yeah, that's
oh, I'm so sorry.
I like the way Dave phrased this, by the way.
Russ's death looks great. Who's the cover artist?
That's Dave.
Like, I'm like, did John Woo film it? Are there doves? However, I did have doves fly out of a tunnel just as I walked out of it once. That was really cool. To my friend, I said, if you would have recorded that in slow motion, it would have been awesome. But
wow.
Yeah, white. Well, they might not have been doves. They may have been white pigeons.
I was just going to say that they were probably white pigeons.
Yeah. No, Russ is the cover artist on all the Death books, right?
I think what he's saying is he really digs my cover for the Arrow book. Who is the other cover artist?
That's Chris Scalf, right?
Yeah,
on that book. Yeah.
Oh, is that what he said?
Yeah, I think so. Yeah, I think so.
On the main film, that would the main picture there for the campaign. Yeah, the Only Death Can Save Us cover is Russ Leach. The Jetpack Girl cover is by Chris Scalf, who I can tell you will be seeing a lot more of here pretty shortly. So,
that sounds really just the way you put that. I like that. I just like it. Do you know what's really great is being in a stable with other people.
Yeah,
that is so cool.
Yeah, there's 2 cover sets. This is a flip book. You're going to go in 65 pages so far on one side, flip it over, and then go in another 65 pages. Hopefully, if I can balance the stories out right, which it looks like it's working. The cover set 1 is Russ Leach, and then the other side of that book will be Mischievous by Daphne Lage. down here. The other cover set is Jetpack Girl by Chris Skelf. And then the other side of that is a Retro Ram cover. There's a special Retro Ram story in the book. Retro Ram was a character along with Mischievous that was in a title. The first book that I did for Arrow Comics called Tales from the Aniverse. And they both exist in a funny animal universe, kind of a science fiction Star Wars type universe of different animals. And Retro Ram runs a set of rangers, like a police group there. They travel from danger to danger and keep the peace throughout the Aniverse. And this Retro Ram story here was plotted out by Ralph Griffith, who passed a few months ago, and then scripted out by Stuart Kerr. Ralph and Stu were a writing team they were the original founders of Arrow Comics. It's one of the reasons why Arrow Comics is coming back, because when I mentioned to Ralph that I was thinking about resurrecting Arrow Comics, he told me to do it and run it for as long as I can. And he saw how comics were changing and said it was time for it to come back. And Arrow Comics has always been dedicated to creators' ownership of their own IPs. We're just a publishing house, almost like a commune for IP creators. And that's part of what the Revolt is all about. Everybody here that does these short stories of these characters, they own all the characters except for the like Mischievous that I own and Retro Ram that other people have worked on. But they're all independently created IPs gathered together into one book. You don't have to have read anything previous to this book. You can just sit down with the volume and jump from like a manga influenced story to a superhero parody story to a funny animal story to a bar fight featuring war to there's all sorts of different places that you're going in this book, and it's a lot of fun to read. It's a very eclectic mix of stories. So that we're very, very proud to present this book, and we hope that you take a look at the campaign over on Indiegogo and decide to back it. And the book is $20. Along with that, you get at least one Arrow comic from a previous incarnation of Arrow from back in the 80s or 90s. That'll be included in the package, maybe two by the time the campaign is done. I think at the 100th backer, we add another book. So another comic.
Menu and Thomas is backed. Good luck, guys. Thank you.
Thank you. Yeah, you do get a lot for your $20. That's for sure. Yeah.
That's the whole idea behind this. We want to get this book into your hands. And the cool thing about this, it's Indie Volt Revolt, which means that the people that are contributing to this book are regular contributors to Indie Volt, like Empyrean Vol, who you see in the chat. He's got a story in this book. He asked me out of the blue, hey, can I send you a story? And I'm like, I don't know who you are. Send it and send me a couple pages and I'll take a look. And he sent it and I'm like, oh yeah, heck yeah, you can have a story. So
like Marv has a story in here too.
He has the first 7 pages of a Sin Killer story, which is a nice contained story for that. Seth has a story in here called Fairies Wear Boots. Eric Hodson,
always
Eric Hodson, who does the Webtoons show on Monday night here on Indie Volt. He's got a story in here that's the secret origin of his character, the dreaded Dinosaur Man.
Superb. That man is so bloody talented.
Amazing. Yes.
There is.
There he is. There's part of that page right there.
Yeah.
We have a fantastic story that's adapting an old Norse poem that Emily Zelasco has done. That's that picture right there. That's it's got a beautiful frame around it, and that's just a third of what that page looks like. There's all of this intricate detail in the tree. There's all this intricate detail in the root system underneath. It's just a beautiful piece. Just a phenomenal picture.
It was Emily showing that while she's like a top-notch artist, like she was showing off completely.
Well, damn straight. Damn
everybody.
That's what this is for.
Oh yeah,
that's exactly what this book is for. Is for everybody to show off.
Yeah,
so,
You know what? We don't do what we do to be modest. Let's just put it that way.
There's Hatch by Glenn Fleming.
Yeah. I'm coloring that for you as well, aren't I? Halfway through that now. So I'm producing. I've got some new stuff to show you here. Actually, just don't know whether you saw that one.
Oh, cool!
With some coloring.
Blow that up.
Oh,
awesome.
Wow!
Awesome. That's so.
Oh, look at that
love that
Mobius
color.
vibe going.
Yeah.
Right there. Yeah.
I was just going to say that. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's all hand colored with ink, Russ.
Yeah.
Rub.
Wait, God, ended it.
It's on a piece of board. All right.
Nice.
Oh my goodness, illustration board.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
know,
Look
right?
at that.
I haven't
at
worked
that.
on illustration board
All
since
that-
high school.
All
Wow,
that says
yeah.
to me, Glenn,
That's
is
awesome.
that you're a proper artist.
I'm a proper artist.
None of that digital
How
stuff.
amazing.
None of that
Look
digital
at
stuff
that,
for Glenn.
look at that.
Yeah.
Love
Sweet.
it. Love it.
Man,
Right,
that's
I love it.
That's like looking at a fine painting. I mean, you sit back and go, man, I haven't drawn on illustration board in so long.
Real, yeah.
And it'll take watercolor so well. And
Yeah.
oh,
Beautiful to work with the brushes and ink and stuff like
Yeah.
that. It's great.
Well, yeah.
These are just test boards. These are just
Oh, excuse me. Those are
yeah,
just
just
tests.
just test. Yeah,
just a test. Well,
just a test.
I'm just messing around here.
Oh, I am. Look, there's the colour.
Who let Mickey Mouse in?
I'll show you. Look, all the colour. Look,
Yeah. Uh-huh.
they're just tests.
They're just
Yes.
tests.
See, see, if that would have been digital, you could have turned those tests into full size images.
Right?
Well, I might still use it anyway. I don't know.
Could have made them non-fungible, mate.
Yeah.
Technically, they are.
Not if they're a DC character, you can't.
I want to say something too. By the way, Russ said it feels nice to be in a stable. Russ, my grandfather and several others weren't in a stable, but they were stealing livestock. So,
Stealing livestock.
yeah, they were stealing livestock.
Dear.
So for more news about Arrow Comics, you go over the Facebook page, Arrow Comics 4.0, and take a look. I'm posting new art as we run across it. And from everybody's books, there's a number of titles that we haven't announced yet, at least 3 to this point. We just announced that we will be doing Revolt for the direct market down into 32-page segments, but there'll be a lot of stories that are in the campaign book that will not make the 32-page direct market edition. Plus, the direct market edition will have color interspaced through it. So, and the Indiegogo campaign book is black and white, but it's black and white in every possible form. It's gray shades or gray tones throughout. There's beautiful zipatone work or dot work through it. You saw Emily Zelasco's work. It's all done by hand. Just beautiful work on that. A lot of the stories there actually work better in black and white, deserve to be in black and white. And if we do print them in the other format, that'll be up to the artist to decide whether it needs to be in black and white or in color. So we're looking forward to that. We really want to turn Revolt into kind of a heavy metal vibe, not quite with the nudity and the excessive gore and the adult themes, but really an example of how, or the power of independent and alternative comics and the different, many different things that you can do with sequential art.
I mean, not that we're adverse to that. I mean, I know that there was a guy who wrote in,
No,
saying
not at
that he
all.
wanted to
Not
do
at all.
that.
It's just that this book will be aimed at a PG-13 or a light R rating. Look at that.
Ooh,
Wow.
Yeah.
That's coming to Only Death Can Save Us later on this year. So
Wow.
there you go.
I just finished that, so I thought I'd pop it up.
That was cool.
Is that a
just
cover?
a little something he threw together.
No,
Is that the beginning of
that's-
Kirby Crackle?
that is some Kirby Crackle there. This is
Yeah.
this is part of the fact files. So something that's going into book 2 that you'll also see in the Arrow released reprints are fact files about the universe that is backing the whole Only Death Can Save Us saga. So you'll get this is the cover page for every fact file, and there's 5 pages in each fact file. And the first one, which will be in book 2, and also in the first Arrow Comics reprint, will be about the Horde and how Satana put them together. And it's if I can remember the title of it, it's like from the Eternal Library. So it's like these fact files that you get from the deep past, and this is the title page of that.
The ninja says gorgeous, and Russ says Russ is not showing off.
Oh no, absolutely not.
I do have a question, Russ.
You have to show off, or you don't sell anything, do you?
Yeah, well, that's
right. Yeah,
I have a question for you. Which incantation did you use to channel Kirby like that? To let him possess your soul and do that.
Oh yeah, if I've got to be possessed, I mean, yeah.
That looks really cool.
I would say,
Yeah,
that's too much of a compliment, to be honest. But there you go. These amazing artists, they all we're all standing on their shoulders, and they inspire us all. So, and if we can get the best, if we can just get the best out of us, just a percentage of what they were supplying the general public, then we'll entertain people. So.
Yeah, but not for nothing. It's a lot of practice.
Oh yeah. You don't just turn up. No. I didn't close my eyes and like pre-pencil, like
We don't want to give anybody, a false impression of being able to do a seance.
Yeah. When you get possessed, what is it called in that it's just like off you go. Oh yeah, I drew it. It's great. Yeah. It's like the make website button on my keyboard. I've got one just over there.
Right.
Yeah, that's a good because I like that. That needs to be a poster for us to make it happen.
Well, it might. You never know.
Talking about a huge poster, like huge. Yeah.
William Pace says Glenn taught Russ that.
Randy, check your inbox. I've just proved that. Show that drawing. Have you got it? Show Russ that drawing I've sent you.
Sugar Chris says, "Hail everyone! Hail Sugar Chris!
Hail Sugar!
Hail, yeah!
I'll get people on this panel. None greater than me, though.
Right.
There you go. Boom.
Well, Varian does run the joint.
Hey,
So.
look at that.
There you go. Yeah.
There's some bloody Kirby crackle for you.
Yeah. Kirby crackle.
Kirby crackle. TM.
Why?
Kirby.
Well, I guess if Kirby would have had as much merchandise at the stand, Kirby crackle would have been a great cereal.
There you go.
What do you mean, Kirby crackle? Better than those.
I have the power. I can see it now. Yeah.
Better than those Ditko's. They're kind of bitter.
Marv.
It's Marv. Good morning.
Hi, everybody.
Good morning.
RV.
Bon dia, Marv.
Bon dia. How are you?
Introduce
today?
yourself to the radio audience, Marv.
Yeah, very quick. Thank you for having me. First of all, hi, my name is Marvi. I'm from Portugal. I'm the writer, creator, and artist of the Sin Killer. And almost done. So if you want to know more, hashtag the Sin Killer comic book and get ready for a cool comic.
I know it's like so. What are you feeling like when you hit those last 8 pages? Do you feel like you have to trudge through it, or you're kind of like zooming through it?
Right now, I'm kind of very stressed. I feel so much stress right now.
Okay, good.
I was going to say, but it's like that extra adrenaline boost that the marathon runner gets when he sees that finish line up ahead.
Yeah.
Yes, it's crazy. It's crazy.
When I finished the book, when I finished my first book, I missed the characters afterwards. I missed them. It was like seeing a friend for the last time for a while. It was really quite odd.
Yeah.
And that's the book that I kind of got that a little bit. So when I came to the end of my run on Doctor Who, I felt a little bit like that, but I wasn't as connected. When it's your own characters.
Yeah.
I would imagine the next down from that was like reading a good book like Lord of the Rings or something. You finish that book and you feel like you've lost your family. But seriously, at the end of the book, you were so connected. You've been so into what you were doing for those previous 2-3 months that you kind of felt a little bit of loss. And I'm really excited to get back to doing it again. Yeah. But I'm not going to be able to get back to doing it till it's looking at the moment like it's going to be sort of middle of July, maybe August before I can start the book. So I'm going to have to turn it around really quickly.
Don't be late.
No. There won't be any lateness. Believe me, there won't be any lateness. But
stay to a schedule. Stay
the
course.
I'm staying the course. It just means I don't sleep as much. like I was saying earlier, you have to get other people involved. But yeah, I'm desperate to get back in there.
Well, don't forget, Russ, there's 24 hours in a day.
Of course, yeah.
Steve, as long as you don't do laundry, as long as you don't clean the house, as long as you don't eat or drink, you should be able to get this work done.
You can iron your shirts at 1 o'clock in the morning. Just get drying.
I don't iron shirts.
You don't iron.
I don't iron shirts. I have a very normal lifestyle, and my wife does all the washing. That's as simple as that. Because I work 6 days a week and she only works 3.5. So that's the way it works out.
I had a friend who I went over his house, and we must have been like, because listen, I don't iron, and my mother would iron all my clothes. And I went over his house. I was like 17, I think, and he was ironing his own stuff. And I thought, how bizarre. What
is that?
Yeah.
I iron my shirts. Nobody irons my shirts the way I do.
But he was ironing his underwear and his
my father was into that too.
Yeah. And
surely you're gonna burn yourself doing that.
Yeah.
Well,
only if you put them on right after.
That's why they have the warning on the irons: do not iron while wearing clothes.
do not pick the phone up while you're ironing.
Yes, exactly.
Believe it or not, a place I worked many years ago, there was a girl then. This girl was a manager, and she had a degree in her field, whatever that was. I'm just trying to tell you how intelligent she was. And she came in one day, and she had a V under a shirt on her chest, that a V. And I said, "What's that?" And I'm not lying. She told me it was the iron. She'd ironed her blouse while she had it on, while she was wearing it.
Look, there are different types of intelligence. Obviously.
I was going to say, and I couldn't believe it. I still can't believe it to this day. But she ironed it while she had it on. So
lazy.
Yeah. Now I should be clear to say that my wife does not iron. And it was like moving from two different, like, from everything being ironed to nothing being ironed. And then it's like you pull out pants like,
oh no. It's very rare that I iron.
Sweetie, can we shake these out or
something? It's very rare that I wear pants.
Yeah, pretty much. Yeah, pretty much.
Comments to wearing pants and ironing.
Yeah. And my mother would iron creases into everything. Like even my jeans, like these.
Yeah, my mother did that.
Yeah. And I'm like, Mom, don't put creases in my jeans. Don't, please. What are you doing? They look nice. Don't, please. So I'm kind of happy now that she doesn't iron my stuff.
There was 1 week where I did an experiment where I didn't do anything except just work and do pages and whatnot. So it's like I didn't do the laundry, I didn't clean, I didn't do anything. And let me tell you, it's like, literally, if nothing happened, if nothing went on, I got a lot of work done that week. The house was a wreck. I got a lot of work done that week.
After nearly 30 years of marriage, April 29th will be our 30th anniversary. I have learned that if the dishes stay in the sink for more than 3 or 4 days, it's my turn.
That's a good code.
I learned,
and it's usually after 3 or 4 days of a big cooking day, where she'll sit there and she'll sometimes she gets into these moods where she cooks, and all of that stuff is sitting in the sink. It's like, well, I guess it's up to me.
No, dishwasher, man. Dishwasher. Yeah. I refuse to let that happen.
It takes that strong arm to clean out she always leaves the dirtiest of the pans.
I'm washing nothing by hand.
We have an agreement. I don't complain, and she doesn't do it.
There you go.
Yeah, there you go.
You're gonna sit in your own filth and like it.
I was young, and it's a funny story. I was young, and I did not. I was raised on like watching some, at that point, still older programming. So like every program that we watched, they had a maid, or a butler, and so I'm like, okay, well, there's my mom, there's my dad.
Where's the maid?
And I'm making no, and like, I never. My Aunt Pearl lived with us, but I never called her my aunt because her and my mother have different fathers, so they look a little different. My aunt is like very light skinned, and you know, she has like curly hair. So in my little baby mind, I was like, oh,
Oh no.
there she is.
Oh
And
no.
because of that, like to this day, I don't call my aunt Pearl. I call her Pearl. She's just Pearl. I don't. It's really bad. But my mother told me the day it had to stop was we were sitting on the sofa and we were watching like Batman or something. The Adam West Batman. And I'm sitting there and I'm eating candy, and
in reruns and syndication.
Yeah, right. Yeah. Because it's like at this point it's like 88 or something. But I'm eating I'm eating the candy bar and I finish it and I ball the paper up and I hand it to her and she just opens her hand, she takes it and holds it like this while she's sitting there watching too. And my mother looks and she nudges my father. She points in and she says, "Give that back to him. Give that back to him right now. Make him get his little butt up and throw it away himself." She ruined a good thing. She ruined a good thing. It was, you know, so I kept the joke going because my aunt's name is Pearl Moore, and my mother was complaining. She was like, "Listen, there's no, we don't have, because at the house I grew up in, there was no actual dishwasher." And she would say, there's no Kenmores around here. I said, "No, but there's a Pearl Moore."
Oh no.
And oh man, that got me so many boos in the house. I was almost kicked out. Randy, you do have a question from Indie Vote Radio?
He has a handprint here to this day.
Oh yeah. It's a foot on my ass, actually.
That's what would have happened if I'd have said that in my house. I'd have had a handprint for 3 or 4 days. Yeah.
So
my mom had quick reflexes.
This is from Indie.
She'd get me for the wrong look. I see that look on your face.
Indie Vote Radio question for you guys, and this one is from Sergeant McFall. Sergeant McFall says, "Hey, thank you for your service, Sergeant McFall. If you are a real military man, but he is because it's a question. He says, when I was deployed, I came across a trunk full of old comics. I'm not sure of who the original owner is, but we're talking some really old stuff. Some bagged and boarded, some not, but all in sellable condition. Checking with my superiors, I was told that I could actually claim them for myself as a owner of the box was not determined. I brought them back home and I was wondering if I send them to CGC, is it true that I have to pay 10% of the estimated value?" Sergeant,
I think there's a cost there's a bottom cost for that in case they're not very valuable.
Right. I think it's like $35 or something. Yeah.
Or 10% of the value. Yeah.
Yeah, but you did find them. They're yours now.
But if you have a lot of if they're really, really old, because like Tavarian really old is stuff that, I had stopped reading, that I got tired of. To me, really old is Golden Age before the code, the Comic Code Authority come in, and really, really old is the stuff that's from the 30s and early 40s that are pre-war. That stuff is not just really, really old, but it's also really, really valuable.
Right. He's let me see. I pull up the rest of the letter here. Give me 1 second because he wrote a bit of what he has in there. He ended up getting some Journey into Mystery, Ginger, and some old Valor magazines from EC.
Oh my God!
So,
those depending upon their condition, you might think about getting those slabbed.
He was also he was overseas when he found the box. So I wonder how they got over there though.
Oh, they went everywhere.
Yeah, pretty much.
Some of that stuff, depending, the Valor is early 50s.
Okay.
But that's part of the new trend EC line back with just as the Comic Code Authority was kicking in.
Does it not depend where overseas he was as well?
A lot of those comics were shipped over there by the millions for the boys in the war.
In Europe, yeah.
And spread around. That was their TV and their main source of entertainment. They'd carry 4 or 5 comics in their backpack and constantly be trading them off depending upon where they were stationed and which foxholes or whatever. Getting a shipment like that in the mail was really important to them.
Right. So what would you? So depending on how many books, because it's like I don't think it's feasible or realistic to send all those books to CGC. There has to be a way he must have them graded beforehand, and then send the top ones to CGC.
Well, there's a legendary tale of a family that saved their farm because their parents' house, their parents had died and they couldn't pay the taxes on the house, so they had to move. They were arranging to sell the house and move. And when they were in their process of moving, there was a chest of drawers in the attic. They pulled the drawers out. There was a bunch of old Hollywood movie magazines that they had in there from the late 30s. And they're pawing through it, and suddenly an Action 1 pops out.
Wow.
And it was an Action 1 that had been Red 1 stuck in the magazine and stuffed away. I mean, it was in pristine, perfect shape. They actually had an armed escort drive from the house to CGC in order to get it graded. At least that's the story of it. And that the headlines in the paper is Superman saves family home.
Wow. Yeah.
Because it was that valuable of a book.
I mean, wasn't there one that just recently sold for like $9 million or something?
No, they had one that was a 9.4, I think, that sold for 3.5 million.
Ah, okay. Probably I just reversed the numbers there. Yeah.
That was a heritage auction, I believe, and that had been slabbed. Yeah. And that was I believe it was a 9.4. There are very, very few of the actions that are graded, let alone graded that high, because there was a color me page inside the book that a lot of the kids would like to use. Plus, it was a comic that nobody ever imagined would be worth anything. That's why it's so valuable now. But there are I think there's only like 3 or 4 9 whatever CGC graded Action 1s in existence.
Wow.
So that family had one of them. I think it came through at a 9.5 or a 9.6. It's the cleanest copy that is known apparently in existence. But that's urban legend. That might not be the proper story. That's just a story that I heard from great place to be deployed. Yeah. Sergeant, good for you. Good luck for you. I would look at the grading and the condition of all of those books, the spine especially. If it looks like a brand newly bought book, you might sincerely think about having them graded. But 9 times out of 10, if those books have looked read and are well read, it's probably not worth your time to get them slabbed, but it is worth your time to preserve them as much as possible. And if you need the money or whatever to trade or collect or to further your collection, to collect those or put them up on eBay or farm those out to people who might later get them slabbed themselves. But the ones the Journey and the Mysteries, especially if you've got the early Thor work, if it looks really pristine, you're going to want to get those slabbed. You'll know by looking at the comic, looking at the spine, seeing if it's rolled, seeing if it's cracked, check the corners of the cover, see if it's bent, see if you've got lines or tears or stamps or burns, holes, whatever in the book that bullet holes that have BB holes that happens. You'll know by looking at the condition of the book how well it is, whether or not you should get it slabbed. It is an expense, but the value on that book once it's slabbed grows exponentially. You'll get that money back if you plan on reselling it. If you plan on collecting it, keeping it, and reading it, you can take your time slabbing it. But if you need to preserve it in order for to increase your sales, then there are lists on the CGC site that have approximate grades and values that you can go over and take a look at, so you'll get a better idea of what titles are worth a little more than others. Because like the Ginger book, I think you mentioned Ginger, right?
Yeah.
In his list, the Ginger book is probably a team humor book that might not be worth that much. That Valor book by EC is probably worth a lot because it's very rare. It's during a period in EC when nobody was collecting ECs, but it was done by a group of people, a group of artists that are very top notch. I think you'll have a lot of George Evans in there, a little bit of Alex Toth. There's just some really beautiful artwork in that book, and it's well sought after and well collected. So your ranges are all going to vary depending upon the title, depending upon the condition of your book. But definitely do, if it looks like it's just bought from a store, that you need to think about getting that slab. Yeah.
And if it's, and here's a problem with Sergeant, if Sergeant McCall, if you end up if you end up getting if if you do end up making quite a bit of money for it, I'm pretty sure the U.S. Army is going to claim ownership of those books. So the government.
Well, no, if you've been given that box, if you've been given them books, you need to think about probably, depending upon where you're deployed, shipping that home as carefully and as wrapped as possible. Not say anything, just ship them home and then worry about it later, depending upon how you're deployed, right? Wouldn't you say that?
Yeah. I was gonna say something, but I'm gonna keep my mouth shut because I'm not sure the statute of limitations are worn out on that. So I'm gonna keep my mouth shut. No, not that. No.
If it's an Army-owned truck and he's been given permission to own those books, and
Yeah.
I was saying my uncle shipped a gun home piece by piece, but that's
that's completely different.
A little different.
That is not a funny book.
Yeah.
Completely. Though, if they're not bagged and boarded, definitely get them bagged and boarded, no matter what condition they're in. Anything that's older than, I would say outside of this century, you're probably going to want to bag and board those before you move them anywhere to try to protect their condition. Sim can get up early for the funnies, but is always late for the roast.
Hashtag blame Sim.
Hey, Sugar.
Yeah.
Nice to have you here, Sim. Same thing. Sim says he went to bed early. That's what he said with a tongue sticking up. In it.
I was looking at I have a question for me, by the way.
We don't get very many collectors' questions on here, but it's a place to ask. Yeah.
Well, I got a question. Is two questions actually. But the first one is this: I know we all back each other's books, and I seen someone, said, "Hey, someone posted it again. Indie artists is sharing the same $20 around over and over."
Oh, that is
again.
the joke. Yes.
Yeah.
That is the joke.
And it's not true, but I mean, I get it because your friend sells a book, you buy it. They make a book, you buy it. But
also keep in mind that this market is growing so exponentially that people want to find fault with it. They want to say, "Oh, that's not ever going to last." You've got your cynics out there. "Oh, you're in a contained audience. This is just the same money exchanging hands." Or the big one right now from the big guys who screw up on their freaking marketing is
a bubble.
We've passed the hump. The bubble is bursting. We're on a downward slope. It's like, no, that's not
right. Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
You might be on a personal downward slope.
I mean, I can say that on my first book, shameless plug, I had 133 backers. I don't have 133 friends. On my current Tall Tales Kickstarter, we're seeing a lot of names we've never seen before. We have our regulars. That's different, but a lot of names we haven't seen before. So it's it's a joke. That's the same $20 going back and forth. But there's a lot of people coming in that we don't know that want our work. So it's real. What we're accomplishing here is real.
There's a lot of stigma that's being slowly worn down that folks have, especially here in the States, about comics being kiddie literature, being over chauvinistic, being all masculine, male power fantasies, on. And a lot of the independent, especially the independent and the alternative material, is evergreen. I mean, stuff that this is work that Daphne did in the late 80s, early 90s.
Yeah.
That she's not just doing that book, but she's gonna get it colored and it's gonna look completely different again.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
And it's a product that can be read over and over again in a lot of different formats.
There's no doubt there's some loyalty going on between certain groups.
Oh, because there's lovers of comics out there.
It happens. But I can tell you now, since 2017, I've booked 50 books across Indiegogo and Kickstarter, and I got 232 backers. So it's obviously not people just returning the favor,
right? Yeah, exactly.
And I can even tell you that all the people that I backed didn't back my book. Only a percentage of them did. So it's not the same amount of money. Variant. I mean, some people didn't even back it. But that's the point being is that you should buy the books you like.
Right.
I mean, it's great if people that you get on with make books and you think, I really like that. That's a bonus.
Yeah.
And you don't want to be rotten to people. You don't want to say, I'm sorry, it's rubbish. That's not the sometimes things don't click with you,
Right? Yeah.
and it's not your thing. It doesn't mean it isn't good.
Randy just proved
Everyone's
Daphne
doing the
is-
math here.
is the teenager.
So it's not the same $20 doing the rounds.
No.
It's about an independent scene that is really starting to blow up.
Not just that, but folks are running multiple campaigns, and they're seeing their backer number grow, and there's more people coming into Kickstarter constantly, or Kickstarter and Indiegogo both, and into crowdfunding in general. You're seeing more campaigns than ever out there for a wider variety of product, hitting as wide an audience as possible. And these people are telling their friends who maybe collected comics back in the 90s or 2000s that are starting to get back into the hobby again because they remember how much fun it used to be. It's not how much fun it is now, but that fun is coming back a lot. I've never seen more Westerns out on the market than I've seen from crowdfunding. Just awesome stuff.
It's hard work, but you want to get to the people. Like, for instance, my particular style is I like the old sort of like Bronze Age stuff. I like fun, all ages books that really are all ages. And there is a big audience of people out there that have stopped buying comic books who would like my book. Okay, not all of them, but they would. And that's the audience you want to tap.
I mean,
you want to tap. You want to increase the audience, not just the people that are currently here. Get old people in, new people in. Widen the audience. And I think that for the longest time, the mainstream publishers have been shrinking their audience. Year on year, it's been shrinking and shrinking and shrinking, and to the point where
the mainstream distributor, the entire system has been
exactly to the point where they've convinced themselves that there isn't much of an audience there. Which is rubbish. There is an audience there, and for small independents like us, we don't need to make millions of dollars. We can make hundreds of thousands and be quite happy.
Just want to make a living.
Millions of dollars.
But
I want to be a hundredaire.
Hundredaire. But it's not about making huge sums of money. It's just about entertaining groups of people and that being enough for you to perpetuate the business of doing that. And that's the difference between, and exactly what you were saying, Daphne, earlier about being. You were saying you were entertaining yourself, but But the point is that we were all small and agile enough to change tack and to move differently, which the big companies just aren't. So.
I mean, because crowdfunding is 15 years old already. I mean, crowdfunding, right? So it's like I remember from the very beginning of crowdfunding, people were poo-pooing the whole thing, saying, "Oh, if you can raise $1,000 on crowdfunding, what's stopping you from going to a bank and getting a loan? You're just begging for money. Like begging a bank for a loan isn't begging." And it's like it's 15 years later, and it's like, and it's the same people, but now it's like they're just tweaking, they're bitching a bit. And it's like, honey, after 15 years, I mean, get with the program.
We see if
not
you
just
deliver
that as much as those 15 years, you've had people be able to go out and work on the system in order to figure out this works, this doesn't work, this works better. This
if you deliver a product, it's not begging.
Exactly.
That's the and don't think that every one of us are here taking the mick and fraudulently taking your money and not giving you stuff back, like I have seen people do.
Exactly.
And that's not just playing the game, that's fraud.
It's a completely different animal.
It's
yes.
fraud, right? And whereas there are a whole bunch of independents out there right now working their backsides off, getting books into your hands. Okay. And that is not begging. I'm old school. Okay. So when my kids said, "Yeah, go and have a look at this thing," what's that thing? I can't remember the name of the system where people give you money.
Like GoFundMe or something?
No, not the GoFundMe. The other one, Patreon. That's it.
Oh,
my kids said to me, "Go and get a Patreon account, Dad, and you can do this." And I looked at it, and to be I don't want to diss anybody who's on Patreon, okay? But this is not.
It's a weird, it's weird.
I just looked at it and went, "That's begging." Just like, you're going to pay me money to sit here and draw. That's not the way it works. You need a product. But that's just my misconception and being a bit old, all right? But actually kickstarting something or Indiegogoing something and saying, this is a product, I've put some sweat equity in it, you can believe me, you can see where I'm coming from, I am constantly available online for you to come and talk to, and in 4 months' time, here's your damn product.
Right. Yeah.
Okay, that is not begging.
Right.
That's making business.
I
And the
wanna-
people that can't do it complain about it.
Right. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Or
There
the
is
ones
a-
who ruin it for everybody, you know, or try to.
I just want to say we were up. Was just up on our Indiegogo Revolt page. We are at 1955, which means we're $45 away from hitting that $2,000 mark.
Yeah.
I just want to let everybody know that I can keep track of who puts us over that line, and that person will get a special thank you from me for knocking us over 2,000. If you decide to buy in, we're only $45 away from passing that $2,000 line, and we would all appreciate you doing that, but I would especially appreciate that, and I will make sure that you know that I appreciate that you have done that. And well,
you've got to remember, you see, that
I'll make sure that there's an extra sketch or extra book or something in there to thank you specifically for putting us over that $2,000 line. So,
and don't forget that crowdfunding is exactly the same age as Daphne. 15.
Right.
There you go.
Exactly. Yeah. I know, right?
From Indie Vote Radio, but before I actually go to the Indie Vote Radio thing too, I did want to mention a comment. Russ has said that you're making products, and there is such a thing as fraud. This week we learned some information that a book will not be coming out at all because the person who
no, you can't say that.
Well, I guess the book.
No, which book are you talking about? Wait,
that book.
There were a couple of books.
Have to narrow it down.
There's a book that definitely won't be coming out at all.
Yeah, there's one that won't be coming out for at least 5 to 10 years, probably.
What?
Oh, probably more like 10 to 25.
Okay, so that book's not coming out. Well, listen, I
probably won't come
yeah, that's what I'm talking about. Yeah, I reached out to Indiegogo, like, hey. Listen,
can I get a refund?
yeah. Please? Can I get a refund? Because this book isn't the person who made the book isn't going to be able to fulfill it for a couple of years due to a state induced vacation.
Due to
that one, yes,
that one.
Due to prior commitments.
Yeah.
So
Brian. So Brian from
a rather minor problem came up.
Right. We
did you send the link to Sugar as well?
I did.
I did in here without having Chris in here too.
Yeah, I did. I sent them. Hello,
probably
Sam.
William Pace too.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
I'll leave. Let me know when.
Anybody who wants to come on, just contact myself or Varian. We'll send you a link.
The thing was,
this program's already gone to hell. We might.
Exactly.
Off as a wild conversation.
It's still related to comics. But
it is.
It's not what we meant.
Well, check this out. Brian from Indiegogo Customer Happiness reached back out to me.
Is that his title?
Happiness. Oh my God!
He's in charge of customer happiness.
He is.
Hate that corporate BS speak.
And he said, "Hi, Varian." That's
Orwellian newspeak is tight.
Happy times.
Yeah.
Double plus good.
He says, "Hi, Varian. Thanks for writing in." And my email to them was like, "Hey, listen, this person's been incarcerated. Here is the link to the story. Here's the link to the campaign. Can I get my money back?" And he says, "Hi, Varian. Thanks for writing in. I'm sorry for the frustrating experience."
Oh no. This is where this is how you know you're going to be completely dismissed.
You're going to get the flip off, aren't you?
Yeah.
Perks are offers made and managed solely by campaigners. Indiegogo does not guarantee that campaigns will succeed or that perks will be delivered. However, campaigners are expected to be communicative and are responsive to their backers. To help facilitate communication, here is the campaigner's contact information. They give me his name and his email. Thanks for your patience and hope you hear from the campaign owner soon. I just told you in the email, Brian.
Yeah, but the thing is, though, that's his way of saying this is not our problem.
Yes.
Yeah.
It's like we already told you that it's like you're not buying a product.
Yeah.
It's like you're kind of investing in it.
We're not a store.
So if you don't get it back, that's not us. We're just a platform. We're just providing a service. everything. I mean,
Yeah, but that's the rules of the platform, and that's
Yeah.
what they have to abide by, and that's
Yeah.
usually what crowdfunding is about, and that's how I get it. I never ask for my money back.
Right. See,
I never do. I never go after people if they don't have my book or they don't have something I don't get. I know when I go in
yeah,
that I'm giving money. Like that's why I hesitate also more. I don't just
Yeah.
throw my money out.
Mhm.
I go, when I back that person, I know that okay, if I put $100, I may get what I'm getting, but I'm also saying bye bye.
yeah. I mean,
You know, this is
yeah.
how
For our radio audience, we are joined by Sim. Sim, if you want to tell our radio audience very quickly who you are.
Oh, hi. My name is Sim. I'm the creator of Bloodhunt and Tales from the Nonverse. I'm the co-host of The Morning Rose with Chris. I also do the Pimp Your Stream with the Edward Diaz, and I'm the one that does the Doodle and Chill on my channel, which is coming back after a month or two of vacation because I needed it. Because I'm on everybody's stream, so I neglected my streams.
Oh yeah. That's what happens sometimes.
That's the way it works.
And to conclude what I was saying is this is the model of crowdfunding. So people, when you crowdfund, please be aware of this, that it is not a pre-purchase thing.
Yeah.
You are investing in something, and investments don't always pay off.
Right. Yeah.
That's one thing. And two, the freaking creators need to come up with another idea. Like they come in, yes, it's a crowdfunding, but please treat your customers like they are customers and you're investors. They're not somebody showing up at you to buy a freaking frappuccino or something.
Right. Yeah.
They're coming to invest in your goddamn thing. Like you're starting your coffee spot. You have nothing there. You're building a bit. You're putting your first table in it, and the guy's coming. Hey, guy, yeah, here's $250 so you could get better chairs. Thanks.
Right.
That's what it is.
Yeah.
I just want my $30 back.
No, you're not. Look, we all know going to prison is an unusual circumstance, but Indiegogo. This is technically not Indiegogo's problem.
No, it's not their fault. It's not their fault.
Not even technically. It isn't Indiegogo.
Okay, so you're talking about that project. Got it.
Yeah. I'm like,
okay.
All of a sudden,
Still,
its book isn't coming out. Well,
Right.
but
I always thought right off the top of my head.
How many times does this happen?
Most people already put that book as we're not getting it.
Right. Yeah.
Sure. Because I mean, like, it was already 2 years late by the time I backed. The only reason I backed it is because it was like he's like, "Oh, I'm going to print like next week."
Well, not for nothing though. I would have never.
I'm going to prison.
Yeah. But the thing is, honestly though, it's like if you see a campaign and it's already like 2 years late, I wouldn't have put a dime towards it.
You're probably right.
It's that should have been a red flag in and of itself.
I should have kept my $30 in my pocket.
Like we had that experience of like people that made like over 50. We had like experiences like on our sides like of people that made over 50K, right, Russ?
Yeah.
And that never freaking fulfilled. That
No,
disappeared.
for real.
Over 60K and disappear. There's somebody that made over 100K and is still not getting the book.
And still managed to badmouth everybody else in the industry while they're doing it.
Yeah. And I still haven't asked my money back.
No, but the thing is, you have to take these campaigns seriously. That's why I proof all my books, even before. If I can proof it before I even launch the campaign, that's what I do. It's like I'm in the middle of a campaign right now. Here's the proof: the book exists.
That's the thing. But that's the thing we need to address it because the problem is. Crowdfunding is not supposed to be a pre-sale thing. People are supposed to be here to build their book.
Yeah.
Like you're supposed to be like, I have no freaking money to do this. I have a project and I want to put it up together. I am putting some of it. I have 5 pages. This is what I paid for. I need money to make it succeed. This is what crowdfunding is. This is why we need to be careful with what people are saying. This is not a pre-sale. If you can have your book done before, good for you. There's different business model. Stop telling people what the business model is. We each have ours. We each have our game. Some people like the 20-page. Some people like the 60. Some people like the hundreds. No,
you know what's funny? It's kind of like crowdfunding has the model that technically Patreon should have. Patreon is.
But that's what Patreon was.
Yeah. I mean, because Patreon is about putting money to get a project created or to support a creator as they work. It's not necessary. I mean, and Patreon is definitely not about getting anything back. It's like you're literally being a Patreon and supporting.
Patreon was mainly created to support YouTubers like you. The main idea behind Patreon was YouTubers. You want to keep me YouTubing? You want to keep me drawing on live streams?
Yeah.
Come support me through Patreon. That's why I'm on Patreon. I'm supporting a few people. I have an animator that I like a lot that I support. And that's how I got to know that people use a lot of Discords. I'm like, what? And then you can privatize room for like special backers. Like I can have like, hey, if you're one of my regular backers, you will have access to this room where I hang out. I have on my Discord, I have a studio, very limited. Like Russ has access to it. Some people have access to it. I work there. People can come in there and we can give access to fans to come chill with us. That's why I made those stuff. It's giving special access to our fans.
Right, yeah.
We are joined by William Pace. William, introduce yourself.
Hi, I'm Will. You already know me, teenager.
Yeah, I know, right?
and the guy top center likes to refer to himself as the kid. I know many of you, and to the radio audience, my name is Will. I am the host of the Creators Outlet podcast, where I interview creators from all walks of life, and mostly comic books, but I also do, music creators and, anybody else that creates anything, basically. I am also the, thank you
He's
so
a lover
much.
And a sinner.
Well, that last part is very much correct. I am also
Sorry, I'm making a joke with the Joker song.
I am also the host of the Sean Howe Art Show on Wednesday nights and the co-host on Thursday nights of the OK Boomer podcast, where we look at old books from the Golden, Silver, and Bronze Age.
You're going to have to send me a link of that one. I missed that one. The OK Boomer.
Yeah. OK Boomer.
I'm curious.
Okay, Boomer. Yeah.
Okay, Boomer. Hey, Boomer.
Well, that's what happens when you work for a company called Outright Geekery, and the CEO is just barely in his 30s. Every time somebody has, I don't know, life experience, they become a boomer to them. So
life experience. Yeah.
Story of my life.
Bristolian Dave, this is why I wait. I tend to wait till the last minute before backing campaigns.
Well, but the funny thing is, because this is an interesting conversation concerning crowdfunding. It's like crowdfunding, all the platforms that they have this particular thing where it's like, oh, you're not prepaying for anything, right? You're just supporting to get these projects made, and maybe they'll get made and maybe they won't. That you're investing. But at the same time, we have this entire conversation about customer service and treating your fans as the loyal customers that they are. And it's like, and the responsibilities that you have towards that. And it's like, like I said, it's like going to prison is kind of like an unusual circumstance.
But this is like the IRS business and closing you down.
Yeah. I think that the difference is there are two distinct things here. We've got the platform and the way the platform works and what the platform's meant for. And then we've got a whole industry of independent people who are using it in various ways. But the core of the people that are successful are those people that don't just use it as a way of building up a business in a way that you would get shareholders, okay, and providing, say, some kind of perk back to someone because they've invested, but using it as a shop front for all intents and purposes. And if you treat those investors properly, if you treat them like traditional customers rather than investors, then there's more likelihood of you being successful with it.
This is
so it's your approach. So so from a customer's perspective or from a backer's perspective, you kind of have to be little bit loose with it, as in there are some times I'm going to back a project and I'm going to miss it. It's just never going to happen because that's the nature of the platform that I'm involved with. However, from a creator's perspective, if you want to be continually successful and move into the future and gain trust and an audience, you make it. You cut
out that successfully. So you can
All right. If you're successful, you want to make yourselves more successful. Then what you do is you treat it in the way that you would treat any shop front and treat customers in the way that you would treat any valid customer. properly, professionally, politely, and make sure they get the product they say
Because,
that, you know,
because
they
right
back.
now, because right now we're talking about three different things. We're talking about the person looking at the crowdfunding. You're looking at the crowdfunding platform, and you're talking about the business model of the creator.
Yeah.
Now, that's three different things. Now, the creator that decides to create a project and create a following, create special things for their fans, and be there for them. That's one, and that's what the one that, like Russ is saying, has been shown to be successful. But it is not a, like we're saying, it's not a store, but you treat them like they are. It's like another example I like to use is like when you're doing movies. If you're a movie producer and you want to make a movie, you have people that come in and invest in those movies, and they make money back, right?
Yeah.
Those are investors. But you also have the people that believe in you and come and give you money, and they have that special treatment. That they come in and they have that special bundle when the movie starts. You have the opening, so you have access to the opening, the red carpet. You have access to a special flyer, a big book, the production of the book. This is what this is. This is how I see my backers. Like they're the people. They're not just somebody coming and going throwing money at you. They're coming and they're believing in you, and you treat them as such.
Yeah.
I think though, like, and just to play the bad guy here for a second, because the other thing is, okay, I don't get my money back. That's fine. There's a slight chance that and I don't
let it go, Variant. Let it go.
Oh yeah, well, like,
what
happened?
I don't even know if 2 cases.
It is not your fault, Variant. It's not your fault, Variant. It's not your fault.
It's all
I
me.
mean, I think I only know of only 2 cases that actually that actually went completely like the district attorney had to get involved and people had to sue to get their money. I only know 2 cases of that, and I don't know like how the circumstances had to be that unique for that to happen. But in general, it's the platform is like
you break
but even
the
then
rules.
that's outside of the platform.
Even us as creators on that platform, we have rules. If you share the information, if you share too much of info of your backers, like stuff like that, or there's this or there's that, there's separate rules that you cannot fraud, right? So if you lie to people for the campaign, you get sued.
Yeah.
You start to get scared though that maybe one day the book shows up in the mail. 5 years later, it shows up. Here's your book. And you're like, ew, I don't want this anymore.
But you still paid for it.
Yeah.
So, it's still, because he could easily has somebody else finish the book for him outside of his situation and still deliver the book and still
maybe his other partner is going to finish it off.
Of the campaign. Yeah. You still paid for that book.
Maybe his partner's in the cell next to him.
Yeah.
and I don't know much, but did he have a team on it or something?
He did. He did have a team on it, and I can say that the book was finished. They were just tightening up the lettering. That's all. They were tightening up the lettering. The book was ready to go.
It's quite possible that someone else might take up the mantle, and you're going to get a book anyway. The fact that you now find it super ooky, that's your problem.
It's like
super ooky.
Listen. I don't understand.
Ookie, TM, Randy Zimmerman.
I don't know if you guys have followed the Wonder Woman 84 model, but I rebuke my purchase. I don't.
No, sorry. You saw it already.
Yeah. I don't want.
I know. I tried to watch the first. I couldn't watch more than the first 10 minutes.
Yeah, no, I couldn't.
Well, I was so
that shitty little girl trying to race against the big woman, and they're like, that makes no
it's like
sense.
that mall scene. That was it. I tapped out after the mall scene. Yeah.
I was told that movie taught me that I can change my mind at any moment, no matter how much damage I've caused.
Right.
I can change my mind and walk away from the situation with no consequences.
I can cancel my wish anytime. So cancel my purchase of this ticket, please.
Yep. I'm canceling my purchase of that book. I don't want it. I don't want money back.
Well, that's another thing you can do. Like, you can accept that you lost your money and just go send her a message and go, please keep it. I don't want it.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah. I mean, it's what it is.
I just could have gave that money to Russ.
You send a message and go, keep my $35, share it between you guys that have nothing to do with this shit. I don't want the book.
Yeah, or you could just get over it.
I'm gonna give it away to Russ.
Pretty much.
I'm just gonna buy Russ.
If it really bothers you, just do that.
Or you can sell it on eBay and be rich.
Yeah, he seems on the up and up.
He seems on the up and up. Thank you very much.
Indie
Okay,
Vote.
is there any other books we can talk about now?
Look, Barry, you can continue supporting my books, but because I'll tell you this, nobody who has a picture of me on their phone is going to prison.
Indie Vote Radio question.
Well, it won't be your picture that sends them to prison. At least, right?
Indie Vote Radio question, and this one,
ma'am, we've got this picture of a teenager. We need to know how old you actually are.
R. Kelly stole my girlfriend.
This one is from Mark, and Mark says, I used to think it was really cool that me and my postman could talk about comics. He'd sit for 15, maybe 20 minutes every Friday, and we talk about what was new in pop culture. It was really cool.
Allowed that.
Yeah. Well, they don't care. They don't care.
He probably got his wrist slapped. Where have you been?
Well, it was really cool until recently when I started getting cards and other packages from EVS. Now, my postman doesn't talk to me, and there's a few things that I've come, as far as I'm concerned, way late, and the box has been kind of beat up. One box even looked like it had been stepped on once or twice. What do you guys think? Should I confront him, or would that be a problem?
Make a complaint to the post office.
Yeah,
that you have a postman who's deliberately that you think is deliberately destroying your packages.
Yeah,
and you let them deal with it. Don't confront this guy.
No, don't mention. Make sure
don't mention the delays
and take pictures. Though.
Yeah.
Don't mention the delays though, because that will not help your case. Just focus on the damage.
Yeah.
The delay goes with COVID.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. If you mention that, they'll just brush it off. So just focus on the damage.
And pity your postman for having dogmatic political views.
Yeah, that's none of his business. I mean, it's like, it's like, look, it's like
wait for him outside.
It's
like, what the fuck's your problem, dude? But that's me.
Yeah. No, because we have very vindictive post people here. They'll stop delivering shit to you completely if you piss them off enough. Yep. So it's like just do it through the post office.
And sorry for the F-bomb. I forgot where it doesn't say PJ-18 now.
Yeah, we are TVMA DLSV. Somebody just
I'll switch to freaking.
Yeah. I've never had that happen. I've had some lazy postmen who say, I tried to deliver your package, you weren't home, and I'm like, BS.
It's like just report it to the postmaster general, and they'll take care of it.
And like I said, make sure you have pictures of it.
It's a federal offense to destroy mail.
Yeah. And don't go like that guy. Right. Just say, oh, look, lately I've been having the last 2 days.
I have this suspicion. It's like they know who your regular post guy is. You don't have to mention any names or anything.
Nope.
You don't have to point
you don't know.
figures.
Maybe they switched it up for a week or two. Like you don't know. So don't mention. Just say like, look, for the last few weeks I've been getting my package very damaged, and I'm very curious, and I don't understand what the hell's going on. It's not something that used to happen. Could you please check up on it?
Yeah. Let's get the guy burned at the stake. It might be happening in the sorting office. It might be a coincidence.
Yeah. That picture on my phone may be predatory. Why doesn't she ever teenage rant about how grown she is now?
I am mad.
Don't get him stacked.
Exactly.
Not grown.
It'll be like Meghan Markle. It'll be his truth.
Yeah. I like that phrase. My truth.
Yeah, my truth.
Like a wank.
Sorry, doesn't have any.
Just a way of saying my truth,
Oprah,
right?
That's Oprah shit.
The word "my truth" just sounds weird, right?
Really
how can you just fucking stand just saying that?
Well,
the truth.
That's Oprah woo speak.
Yes.
Yeah. Oprah woo. Oprah woo speak.
Yeah.
It's
critical blast this morning, Indie Voters. Morning, critical blast.
It's my feel because I feel that way, and it's making me feel that way.
Yeah.
My version of it are as follows. I'm taking out several key things that I did that may make me seem bad. So,
okay.
Like that's what you say. That's what my truth is. So, like
that's usually what it is. It's missing a couple of details.
Yeah.
Like the facts.
Yeah.
Yeah.
This is
The truth
my
about
food
the
is
whole
more about
truth.
how it makes me feel, and I'm allowed to fuck myself, and you cannot say nothing.
What? I couldn't.
Yeah, dude, that's
another-
how they talk. Did you notice that it's like everything goes numb in their jaw?
Yeah.
Like the song is like this, and blah, blah, blah.
I know exactly what you're saying. It really, yeah.
I call it the stripper talk, but I'll stop there.
Pop says you guys will let anyone on.
Yeah,
he's right. He's right.
Well, it's Sunday morning.
He's right. He's right. He's right.
that's right.
Indie Vote Radio question for you, Randy, in particular. And this one is I guess anybody who's ever exhibited at a comic convention, how much money should I put into setting up at Comic-Con? I'm talking about my convention materials, backdrop, table, layout, design. I see a lot of companies selling table. I think he's supposed to be cloths. I think the table clothes and tablecloths and whatnot. That'd be kind of cool. Table clothes. I got my table. This nice outfit. Look at the hat.
Well, not for nothing. I do have clothing specifically for conventions.
Yeah. Well,
ironed.
People have told me before that
it's that Sailor Moon outfit that makes everybody you're a teenager.
You got to be prepared.
Yeah.
Okay, when are the guns starting again?
There's money in that.
we don't need a Sailor Moon.
You should invest as much as you can afford comfortably into your backdrop and display. It's a matter of personal taste. Check around, do a little research at some of the other shows, see what everybody else does. I know artists that'll have a tablecloth that's a sheet that they bought from the local store or Goodwill or whatever, and have one of those blinder backdrops that has their name and a couple of pictures of their work, and that's their entire table setup. And other people that have huge lavish displays. And I've also seen folks that put together UPC pipe and string it up into creative display areas and hang artwork from it. It's a matter of personal taste. Whatever will give you a professional display.
One of the things that I found was, those shoe racks that you find at dollar stores?
Yeah.
You can build them up into a nice little square rack for like original art in your corner of your table. It's very cheap and stupid. You just connect them properly into a little cubicle.
And you can buy extra parts for them. They're modular. You can build them however you want. Yeah, we have a whole bunch of those.
There's all sorts of ways to set up your display. Just keep in mind that you want to be visible. You want to be attractive to a passerby. You want to be able to catch their eye. So bright colors. To me, for the longest time, Artist Alley was nothing but dark. This is my dark book. This is my next dark book. That's one of the reasons why I started Sunday Funnies, is that we can talk about the funny side, the more lighter side of comics. Now, when you go, you're seeing more brighter displays. I've got a bright yellow canvas cloth that I used to use for 10 years or so when I was doing Flint Comics that stood out like a sore thumb. Plus, I'd bring one of the red boxes, the newspaper boxes, to shows real often, and that would attract a lot of attention because primary colors attract the eye. That's why the old comics used to be done in the big bright primary colors, especially on the top third of the comics, so that it would attract attention off of the rack. So depending upon the type of book you do or the type of company that you have a horror company, you probably don't want to use bright colors. If you're primarily a humor book, then you don't want to use the darker tones.
And think of it as coloring as well, complement colors. Like me, like my books are colors, right? So my sheet on my table is pure black, so everything stands out. I have one of the things that I've noticed as a comic book artist at cons, having a banner. Like a standee banner in the back. That attracts a lot of attention.
And be real careful on those too. You need to look at it because some of these banners are that are inexpensive are made very inexpensive.
Yeah.
And they're only good for 20, 30 displays that you pull on them.
This is made out of vinyl.
Like that.
Yeah.
This is printed out of vinyl, cost me like $70-something, but this lasts. I could roll it up. It's solid as hell.
Yep.
Yeah.
There's a metal stand that you can put on it.
And also, like a lot of you go searching too, because a lot of companies they'll have deals on stuff. So it's like it doesn't, it's like even though you kind of want to go more towards like good quality. So it's like it's not breaking, you're not replacing it every 6 months.
Yes.
Yep.
It's like you can find companies that'll like offer discounts and stuff on the better quality items.
Yeah.
And also it's like like for promotional materials, because I'm going to let everybody in on, actually, it's not really a secret because it's like another thing we stole from Anthony. Sticker Mule, right? They offer up deals every I think every 4 or 5 days where you're able to get heavily discounted merchandise. And mind you, these are things for you to give away. And for $20 here, $20 there, $20 here, you can get stickers, you can get magnets, you can get you can get the acrylic keychains depending on the deal. So keep an eye out for that. You can keep an eye out for that too.
There's also Redbubble that does the same thing.
Right. So it's like if you can get really heavily discounted stuff, what you're doing is you're collecting these items so that when you go to conventions, oh, look, here's a little freebie for you. It's free with every purchase. Or when you're doing a Kickstarter, oh, the first 10 people get this. I mean, it's,
there we go. Thank you.
Right. You don't. Oh, did we pass 2,000?
Yeah.
So all these noises are going off.
Another thing I'd like to point out is I found out something on Redbubble that I didn't know before. A lot of people are using those Teespring and all those places for T-shirts and stuff, right? And the international shipping is crazy. Me to order a T-shirt from Teespring, even from my store, would cost me $25 shipping, $27, right? Yeah. But I've noticed that with Redbubble, it's not like that. That's why the store for the morning roast cups, I open it with Redbubble because it's $8 shipping international.
Right, because I think what it is too is that they use all different types. They don't use one supplier. They use suppliers all over the place.
So I think it's a really good thing for us creators to keep that in mind that, if we want to have some merch and you make 20% off the sales.
You have to spend money to make money, but you don't have to automatically spend a lot of money.
Don't be like me. Don't be like me, basically. Here's my table display. Here it is. And it evolves. So it started like this. I got a light bar and everything. All this stuff.
Then he had to replace the 2 stand-ups that are next to him.
Yeah, I had to replace I had to replace those.
But that one on the right does look like a standee, though.
Yeah. Those, I don't know if you guys see that, but those are 2 tablets hanging on the thing. It plays YouTube videos or stuff of me drawing and stuff, and videos of the comics.
Good blimey.
You might be overdoing it a bit.
Yeah. Oh yeah. I the electricity.
And a flashing banner, a light display that goes by, and
I stand out. I even have. I even have booth girls.
Right.
Booth girls. There they all go. So
I recognize one.
Yeah.
I think I know that one in the front.
Yeah. And
I want to meet the one in the middle.
My friendship of all of them has rendered me into this. There I am now.
You look so happy there. It's not.
Whoa. I'm the wheelchair guy around here.
He'll be a grape.
And because we're in the last 10 minutes of our program, we're joined by Sugar Chris.
That's right. Well, I just woke up.
See, he's giving me shit in the chat.
Just made it. Again, squeaked into the wire.
Hashtag blame Sim.
So it's right, Redbubble, just like Printful, uses production sites all over the place. EU, Canada, US, Japan, etc.
Yep, they're in the UK, they're in Canada, they're everywhere. So
they're everywhere.
I might have to change Redbubble.
How does one meet your booth girls?
Yo, Critical Blast. Yeah, go to the convention. Yeah, the booth girls are all there. Yeah. Better or worse?
Varian, did you have to replace those guys because they went inside?
I'm gonna have to find a picture, but when I used to work for Heroes of the North, I'm gonna need to show you those booth girls.
Well, here's the thing.
They were the actresses of the series, the web series called Heroes of the North, and dude,
Here's the thing about the booth girls.
Give me one of everything.
Here's the thing about having all these booth girls is that it works out. I realize that all of them eat though, like a lot, and it was really hard trying to corral them in. Like, it's like you think corralling artists is hard, trying to get the girls like to show up on time. They eat too much.
Herding cats. Yes.
Yeah. And it's
well, you should have hired me for that.
I think the best usage of booth girls was Jim Balent and his Broadsword Comics booth. So he would do is that he would sit on a tall stool in the middle of the booth, right in the middle of the booth, and he would sit there drawing. And what it is that he would give a free drawing. Like, you would come up to him and ask for a free sketch, and he would give it to you. However, you had to wait at the table for him to draw your sketch. And the entire time you were there, his booth girls would be pretty much hounding you the entire time to buy books. And before you knew it, by the time you got the sketch, you spent $50 on comics.
And I thought I was funny. Name my company is Last Call Comics. I thought it would be funny to call the girls the Last Call girl.
PayPal wasn't too happy with that.
They quickly became the shot girls after that.
Yeah.
Cancelled.
Or groans from the audience. Yeah, there we go.
That's
groan heard around the world.
That's what put me here.
See, that's stuff that's funny when you're like 21 and stuff.
Yeah.
Like, we had radio numbers yet this morning.
56 809.
Yeah,
nice.
We appreciate each and every one of you. But it's time for these boot heels to be wandering. So, Chris, thanks for joining us. Tell everybody how they can find you.
Well, I'm at Sugar Chris on Twitter, and you can find me here on YouTube as Sugar Chris.
Nice bit of free advertising there. I'll just turn up at the end of the show. And
just turn up, promote myself, and then leave.
Hey, thanks for coming. See ya. Yeah. Hello, you must be going. Yeah. And your part with Sim with the morning roast. Where can they find that?
That would be on my YouTube at Sugar Chris there. Yeah, we do the morning roast where we bring on crowdfunded folks such as Daphne and all you guys and talk about the books.
And obsess about red dresses.
That is not me doing that.
It's obsessing about Sugar wearing red dresses.
Yes.
And that's Sugar Chris, by the way. That's SHUGAH, and then Chris, CHRIS, as opposed to the cereal.
Sugar.
Yeah, I thought I would spell sugar like how Rogue says it.
Will, how can folks find you?
You can find me at JokerFan on Twitter, JokerFan1969 on Instagram. And you can find me and all the podcasts I'm involved with, minus this one, on Creators Outlet on YouTube. And you can also find me at Outright Geekery.
Outright Geekery, yes.
Outright.
Sim, how can folks find you?
People can find me anywhere under Simonson Budget. I do a lot of stream with the Sugar Chris right there on his channel. You can find me at Simonson Budget on their YouTube, and I'm also Inkslayer on the rest of the places with my bros Scottman, Beacon, and Inkspot. And that's coming very soon, and that will blow your mind.
Cool.
That's good.
Marvy, how can folks find you?
Yeah, you can find me on Instagram and Facebook by hashtagging the Singular Comic Book. And if you want to draw and share a little bit, so hit me on Messenger, and we can have a good time just talking about comics if you want. So that's the invite. Cool.
Good.
Thanks for having me.
Thanks for coming on. Russ, how can folks find you?
When I'm not creepily hanging out in Indie Vault looking at Daphne Lage.
Probably put her in the middle. We gave you the end. We gave a spot. Yes.
You can find me. Oh, a teenage girl. It's Daphne. You can,
you don't need a teenage girl this cynical.
that could possibly destroy the fabric of reality. You can
as
find
we
me.
know it.
As we know, you can find me as Comic Book Black Belt over on YouTube, where you can find out about how I produce my comics and other bits and pieces about some of the comics that I've done in the past. You can see me at russleach.com or comicbookblackbelt.com. You can find out more about my book, which will be with Arrow Comics, but the original is still available over on Indiegogo, and the link you can get on onlydeathcansavus.com. And you can find out more about the book and the upcoming books that are coming. You can also find me on a Thursday over at Fultonland, which is Joe Fulton's channel, where we talk about the Outliers production and about new comic book and creators on the way up.
Cool. Russ, Glenn, how can folks find you?
Really easy. You can find all my books and magazines on Amazon, and you can get in touch with me on Facebook or at Comics Unlimited Magazine at gmail.com. Really easy.
Now, when's the next Comics Unlimited coming out?
It'll be out in about, where are we? 18, about 3 weeks, maybe a bit more.
Any interviews you want to boast about?
I forgot the guy's name. Just a second.
Guy's name on
He's got a really strange name. He's called Zub. He draws Conan. No, he writes Conan. Just a second. No, move on. Move on.
Way, I found a pic. Check this out.
Sorry, I put you on the spot there.
You carry on.
This is what we had at our booth.
Yeah, let's see. Hold on.
Okay.
And Lucifer's gonna be there, right?
I have to. Oh, there.
Hey. Wow. Yes, sir.
So you can imagine how the booth was filled.
Those costumes are fun. You can just fill them up with helium all day.
Yeah, but dude, this is
there are latex suits that do that.
Yeah,
you had an entire crew, but there was 12 of them.
Or something different.
And as you can see, this is a Black Terror that was in there.
Yeah,
sweet.
That's cool. I like that. See, I just have the girls come sit at the table and talk to people, and usually, they get stalked afterwards. Which, again, if they look at the policy they sign in the small fine print on their contract.
I can tell you we had some really, really fun after con parties.
Oh yeah, I'm still recovering from some of them.
Yeah, he's still trying to recover from a few.
Yeah. I won't say it on air, but yeah, there was a lot of fun times. Anyway, Lola should know she's. Anyway,
Daphne, how can folks find you, Daphne?
You can head over to my main portfolio site at egoworks.com, EGOWORKS, where you can find links to all my social media and galleries. And you can also read Ego Raven, Heir of the First Unicorn, for free, the first 5 issues. You'll also find a link to talltalesonline.com, TAILS, where you'll find links to our current Kickstarter for the Volume 1 trade featuring artwork that I first started publishing in 1992, if anyone wants to do the math on that.
She's been drawing since she was 3 years old, folks.
And I guarantee, this is a lot more convenient to pick up from Kickstarter than to read the first the first 1,000 pages on the website. So it's the first 5 issues, Volume 1, Thieves Quest, at talltalesonline.com, TAILS. And just, it's like, and as much as I appreciate everyone commenting on my youthful countenance, I qualified for the second wave of vaccination, so don't worry about it.
That was a nice way of letting us know your age without saying it.
Yeah. She got called 17 earlier, so.
Varian, how can folks find you?
You folks can find me at Varian Grant, pretty much on all social media except for Twitter, which is KYD_V. But and indievolt.com is the home site of all this madness. My personal site, whenweriot.com, as well as ledg.us. Which is a distribution company owned, distributing comics to stores everywhere. And Yeah, that's it, right? That's it.
Got that right here. Boom.
Yeah, there's Bill. So pretty.
Need to stop that banner though.
No, yeah. Very won't see any of that. Yeah.
Can't read the website address with the
ledg.us to sign up. Takes a couple days to sign up, about 48 to 72 hours right now to sign up. Once you're signed up, for us to get back to you. But yeah, we're excited. A lot of big things happening over there. And I gotta say, the card over here looks a lot better than it does on the other Indie World side. She's much more clear. I don't know. I think I may have used another image over there. So.
I don't know how that worked. I think I took it from there. So.
Yeah.
Is that it?
That's it for me.
You don't want to talk about the awards?
Oh, Indie Vote Awards. Yeah, September 18th.
Yeah, Sim's gonna win it all.
Yeah.
I'll miss it.
Sweeping.
It's a judged event, folks, where we talk about alternative and independent comics to bring more attention to the quality of the work. It is a judged event by 5 or 6 judges, 7 judges,
5. I think it's 5.
5 judges. Yeah. So that all people that have been in the field for a while and know what a good comic book looks like. In order to get your book up for consideration, there's a fee.
Yep. There's a fee. It's $5 per title, $1 per category, unless you're doing like the ongoing. If you're doing ongoing, you only put $5 in and select, best ongoing title. That's fine. You don't have to pay for each title at that point. So $5 per title, $1 per category you wish to enter in until April 30th. April 30th, it goes up a whole $1, so it'll be $5 per title, $2 per category. And then after that, it starts going up again.
And all of that money goes to Autism Speaks.
It does. All the submissions.
We have official professional corporate sponsors, and it will be at Dave and Buster's. The ceremony will be September 18th.
I subscribe for every category I could just to add more money.
Nixon is one of the sponsors. Yeah. Shall we run the commercial?
Do we have a commercial for Nixon?
We have a
not
for
the show.
Nixon,
Okay.
for this for the award.
Yeah.
Shall we run that?
Yeah, I'll run it. Here we go.
Daphne, do we have something we want to add to this?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, so
September 18th. We'll be live streaming that here on the Indie Volt Radio Network, as well as YouTube, Facebook, and any place else that we can stick it.
I got a question.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Well, is there going to be like a category for most unique chest hair on a character? I think Sim will have that.
No.
It's up to that one.
That'll be on the 4th night of awards.
Yeah.
Just kidding.
Yeah, we're gonna.
No.
I left
One
that
night,
in the suggestion teams. Yeah.
a small number of awards. It's all good.
Yeah, we got that. I think it's 14 different categories. Handing out trophies, so everyone take a trophy. Not everyone take a trophy home, but
Official trophy.
yeah. It's gonna be a lot of fun. September 18th. Check it out. It'll be streaming live on Facebook and YouTube as well. But it'll be nothing like being there, because we're gonna feed everybody too. So if you've never been to Dave and Buster's too, it's a pretty cool experience.
The flock is here just in time for us to say, hey, nice, thanks for joining us.
We got to get the flock back. We got to get the flock on Indie Vote Live Wire at some point too.
Flock at William Quinton. Your book was terrific. I got it Monday, and I can't wait to see more.
There's one. William, Alexa says I'm my own booth, babe.
That'll be a rough convention.
Great convention. Yeah, rough convention. I want to thank everybody for joining us today. You've been listening to the episode of Sunday Funnies for the 18th of April, 2021. I've been your host, Randy Zimmerman. You can find me on Facebook under Randy Zimmerman, at Twitter under Randy Zim. You can please look at the Arrow Comics 4.0 page over on Facebook, where new artwork is posted constantly about works that Arrow Comics will be bringing up here the latter part of 2021. and those will be available through Liberty Distribution. So if you're a retailer out there, these books are being made for you to enjoy and to sell to your customers. So please get up there and sign in at Liberty, and we will happily distribute those books to you. Everything that you're seeing up there is available. Don't forget our crowdfunding book. Really, thanks again, William, for pushing us past the $2,000 mark. Deeply appreciate that. And that's the Indie Revolt Sequential Art Collection with short stories, great short stories by a lot of the participants here on Indie Volt and the Indie Volt Radio Network.
Let's get more stories unlocked. Come on.
More stories. Yeah. Absolutely. Let's go.
Let's get this looking like Cerebus. Come on.
Yeah, that's the idea. Get those phone books out there.
Also working on those pages, Varian.
Yeah.
And by the way, I don't know. Varian, before we close, do you want to see the last pages that Scotsman sent me fully colored?
Sure.
Tell some adverse.
Let's check them out.
Yeah, bring it on, man.
I got it.
Oh, there's.
Oh, look at those.
Oh, there you go.
Oh man, look at. Yeah,
you went all out
into the netverse.
Yes, that's Tales from the Netverse. That's if you go on a campaign, you have that big page where you see Lowani in the middle with a whole bunch of pages. That's right after. So he walks out of the club called Booberama, and obviously he walks out with a stripper.
Obviously, yes, of course.
And you have some people that decide to cock block him. And as you can see, he's not very happy about it, right?
With guns,
you know.
And, I don't want to say, but Nat has a pretty nice tight.
Yeah, I know.
Look at that,
dude. Like I say, I'm not just offering cheesecake here. There's
Yeah.
beefcake.
Yeah.
Come on, we're pleasuring everybody here.
Mhm.
I'm overly
Yeah.
sexualizing
Must work
my
out.
guys too. Come on.
Buns.
And here's the follow-up page and what happens when you cock block him.
Oh, look at that
Right there.
splat.
So you see that little split, and they go like, "What?"
That's a funny panel. That's really well done.
Yeah.
And then he's like, "Oh, it explodes more than I thought."
I
Set up there in the upper left.
really enjoy the three-dimensional.
Yeah.
Look at me making up words right now. The three-dimensional aspect of that panel. It really looks like it's coming out. I mean, kudos to the colorist for really pushing that.
Yeah.
And then you have him like doing that nice little,
great.
macho flip.
Cool.
That's cool.
And I'm not showing more.
Yeah.
So go jump on the campaign because the color should be done by the end of the month, and we should be starting fulfilling by the beginning or mid-May. So my birthday should be printing and fulfilling.
There you go.
Cool.
Awesome.
However, if you want to book right now, mine's available.
Yeah.
Only death can save us on Indiegogo.
There, you just gotta go press the button, and it'll be with you in a couple of weeks. No problem.
Right there. Yes. And believe me when we tell you, it's got the smell of success all around.
Yeah.
It really does.
Yeah.
You kind of air it out before it,
Monday nights here on Indie Volt, Eric Hodson does webtoons whenever he's available, and Varian wants to co-host. Tuesday nights, Varian and myself will be back for the Live Wire program at 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Wednesday nights, Varian and the Indie Princess and Daphne do Geekgasm, which is geekery and nerdism from a feminine perspective. And then Thursday mornings, Varian and I are here, and sometimes Daphne, I think, for the Breakfast Buzz. That we'll be back
as long as nothing's blowing up in my house. We're good.
doing more comic nitwittery. And Saturday.
Yeah.
Saturday we have Pitches Be Crazy
Ooh.
with Brandon, who will look at crowdfunding pitches, and one of them will actually be backed by Indie Volt at the end of the program.
Oh,
So
interesting.
up to a $50 tier, and
Which
then
would be
again,
nice.
this what?
Which would be nice.
Yeah. I need to create an Indie Volt like account on like Indiegogo and Kickstarter.
Yeah, it's
So people
quite
can
easy.
see it,
Just open it with the email. You have an email
Yeah.
for IndieVolt, right?
Yeah. I should do that because if I back it, people are like, that's not Indie Volt. It is. It's me. I backed it.
But if you
No, but that would be a good
if you do
idea.
that though, but you do need to be, if the company is registered, you can do it. If not,
Yeah.
because it has to be like a legal entity, the name.
Yeah. Well, they're LLC, so
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. If you're an LLC, you have no issue.
yeah.
And then next Sunday we'll be back again for another episode of Sunday Funnies at 9 a.m. Sunday morning Eastern Standard Time. We're not sure who will be on next week's program, but it will be ending promptly at the 2-hour mark. So as the wife will be running downstairs and shutting off my computer at the 2:01 mark.
It hits the big lever.
It's time to go. Yes. Exactly. Again, we want to thank everybody for listening. Thanks everybody for participating. Thanks for everybody in the chat. We appreciate you very much out there in Indie Vault land. Anybody have any last words?
Buy independent comics, especially ours.
Yeah.
Get that $20 bill rolling.
Yeah.
We're going out the same way we came in. And thanks again, everybody, for being here. Take care. Have a great rest of your weekend. Is that it, Marion? We're done?
That's it. We're done.
That's
All right.
done.
Ciao.
Yeah. Take care, everyone. We'll see you soon.
Bye-bye.
What you've accomplished. Do you draw the Flintstones naked?